I'm Karen Dance. I'm the president of this group for about 30 more minutes. So I'm excited. I guess they're excited too. It's 1924. We're here in Frankfort. Governor William Fields was the governor. Carol, where are you? Did you know our, Carol Denhart, right there you are. Did you know our lieutenant governor in 1924 was Henry Denhart? Do you know him? I'm talking to you.
I never heard that.
Well, I'm telling you, it's Henry Denhart. We've gotten so smart over the past months because we've worked on our history. We've learned everything that's happened in Frankfort for 100 years. Population was about 10,000. They had just opened up the new Capitol building. Several people griped about it because they didn't like it being in the neighborhood. But that's true of everything. Somebody's going to be against everything we do. Well, there's some strange looking people here. I want to see who they are.
You talked about being the president. I'm the president of this club. I am Miss Augustus Thomas, the first president of the Garden Club of Frankfort. And I want to welcome all the ladies. And I have a question. Who let the men in? We will discuss this later. Well, here we are. It's in March 1924. And
2024.
It's 2024? That must mean the Garden Club is 100 years old. Oh my gosh. And some people said it would never last. But as I was president, I worked with these two ladies, Cordelia Lindsay and Lillian Lindsay. The Lindsay family was a very important family in Frankfort. They lived here across from the library. And Lillian was really the force behind the idea for the Garden Club. And you might know she was also the force that started the library, the Paul Sawyer Library. Let me say that again. Lillian Lindsay started the Paul Sawyer Library. We will address that situation. But anyway, these two ladies were very important to the Garden Club, but Lillian, as I said, was the real powerhouse. And it is without further ado that I give you Miss Lillian Lindsay.
All right, thank you all so much for coming here. I want to thank each and every one of you sincerely. Without you and the hundreds of people that came before you, this wouldn't be possible. You made a small woman's dream come true to create such a legacy for Frankfort. The Garden Club has really blossomed. You know, in our first year alone, we planted over 800 trees, so we have made quite a difference. So you all deserve a round of applause. Give yourself some credit here. Shortly after founding the Garden Club, I became the chair of the Conservation Committee, and that was my final passion project. I really wanted to preserve our rolling hills here in Frankfort. I fought so hard to save the Devil's Hollow Quarry. Unfortunately, I was not able to, but we tried everything. We wrote letters, we involved the press. Conservation and Tom Wallace was also present, and he helped a lot, and we still could not make it happen. We convinced the owner to sell the property for $15,000, but the sale would not go through, unfortunately. Instead, that money went to a fund, the Lindsay Hill Fund, which to this day still supports Frankfort beautification. And I am just so grateful that you all continue my legacy. I I look forward to seeing you all again this summer, and thank you all for coming today.
Thank you, ladies. I have some more introductions I'd like to make. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? We have several of our state officers for the Garden Club of Kentucky, and I want to introduce them if they'd stand up. We have our president, Susan Thornberry. Our first vice president, Sharon Burcham. Second Vice President, Debbie Skaggs. Third Vice President, Carla Hawkins. Recording Secretary, Mary Ann Hicks. This group, you never see one of them out, but travel in a pack. I always forget. Now I want to introduce the Garden Club of Frankfort. Past presidents, Garden Club of Kentucky. And I don't know how many of you all are here. Martha Morgan's not here. John Whipperman, Joanna Kirby, Carolyn Roof, Kay Fisher, Becky Oliver, Ann File, Paula Hyatt, Edith Nelson, Donna Smith, and Donna's here. Sorry, Donna. And Carcel Burchett. Now, Carcel has a double role. She's also our SAR region. She's got a big conference coming up, just a couple weeks, so we need to support her. Pardon? Sunday. I was going, but I have to. Our Bluegrass District Director is here, Carol Denhart. The Mountain Laurel District Director, Laura Whitney Burchett. I don't think, have I missed anybody? Okay, now the Garden Club of Frankfort's past presidents. Peggy Duncan. Betty Connor. Betty has pneumonia, she's very sick. So. Marcy Broderson. Music massages for us. Donna Hopkins. Ashley Hayway. Sue Kirkman. Lisa Cochran. Linda Hill. Teresa Dameron, I believe I've seen Teresa. Carla Hawkins. And myself in about 30 minutes. Now I'm going to announce the new officers. No, I'm not. I'm going to announce our current officers. We had co-vice presidents, which were Teresa Averill and Rosie Jordan. Rosie, out in the hallway. They've, I know they're here. Teresa's here and Rosie's, oh, hi Teresa. Second Vice President is Patty Dapke. Third Vice President, Barbara Utter. Recording Secretary, Joy Feist. Couldn't be here today. Corresponding Secretary, Jean Davis Shaw. Co-treasurers, Barbara Hadley Smith and Stacy Travis. Auditors, John and Marcia Walker. Parliamentarian, Marcy Broderson. Historian is Marcia Garman. And the librarian is Mara King. Now I'm going to introduce Carla Hawkins, who's going to read the proclamation from Governor Bradshaw Bashir. Bradshaw Bashir.
Thought we might have a ghost in the house. Governor Bashir and his wife, the First Lady Brittany Bashir, couldn't be here today, but they were gracious enough to provide a proclamation to honor our 100th anniversary. And it reads, "To all to whom these presents shall come. On March 28, 1924, 11 women led by Mrs. Elizabeth Augustus Thomas and the Mrs. Lillian and Cordelia Lindsay gathered together and formed an organization called the Garden Club of Frankfort to stimulate knowledge and love of gardening among amateurs, to share the advantage of association through conference and correspondence in this country and abroad, to aid in the protection of native plants and birds, and to encourage civic beauty in planting. And the Garden Club of Frankfort is a non-profit volunteer organization that seeks knowledge and expertise in horticulture, environmental conservation, and floral design, sharing these skills with its members and the community. And the Garden Club of Frankfort has dedicated the last 100 years to helping Frankfort, Franklin County, and the Commonwealth of Kentucky improve the environment by planting thousands of trees, shrubs, and flowers, removing invasive plants, providing gardening education to our youth, and creating public gardens at schools, parks, and community areas. And whereas the Garden Club of Frankfort is a leader in community efforts to protect and restore landmarks in natural areas, such as the Frankfort Cemetery Chapel and Cove Springs Park, it has also been a leader in the creation of the beautiful public byway on Wilkinson Boulevard, the revitalization of vacant lots in public parks areas, and education on the need to protect our ecosystems by planting native plants and trees. And whereas the Garden Club of Frankfort funds community beautification projects through the annual Living in History Home and Garden Tour, and recognizes the beautification efforts of others through the Community Beautification Awards. Now therefore, I, Andy Bashir, Governor of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, do hereby pay tribute to the Garden Club of Frankfort on its 100th anniversary and commend it for 100 years of service to the community in gardening, education, conservation, and civic improvement. Done at the Capitol in the city of Frankfort, the 4th day of March in the year of our Lord, 2024, and in the 232nd year of the Commonwealth. Andy Bashir, Governor.
I want to introduce, or we all know, Representative Derek Graham. He has some words to say about our club.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you for having me. Today has been a learning experience for me because I had this piece of paper that you all have on display outside of this room, and I knew about the Garden Club, but I didn't really know how much you all have done. And you know, here in Franklin County, we've been taught that our community is not just our community. We're the capital city, and all 119 other counties are part of our county. And you have made our county a beautiful place in terms of what you have done across this community. And so I salute you and thank you for the service that you have provided, not only for Franklin County, but for the Commonwealth of Kentucky. And I just want to tell you this story. A few weeks ago, we were debating on the House floor about who would be in charge of the Capitol and the Lindsay House and the old state capitol. And in the committee, the person who was having the bill, someone asked him about the Lindsay House. And he said, I don't really know anything about that. So in committee, I as a teacher, I taught him where the Lindsay House was and what it was about. We're going through some difficult times right now, but we're going to get through it because we're Kentucky. But the one thing that I can say about Franklin County is that it's a people who endorse and embrace others who come into this county. So I want to say thank you to all of you for the service that you have provided to this community and to our Commonwealth. God bless you, God keep you, and thank God for you.
Did you take my notes with you? I'd like to introduce Mayor Lane Wilkerson.
Thank you. And it's an honor and a privilege to be here with you tonight on behalf of the city of Frankfort. And it's important that the mayor be here to celebrate 100 years of the Garden Club. As you know, it's quite an achievement to still be here. I don't know if you could have imagined that back in 1924. But the city of Frankfort is appreciative for all the work that you do with the Frankfort Cemetery Chapel, Cove Springs, the Wilkinson Boulevard, and all the work you've done to educate the public and to protect our native plants and species in the city. This is one of the organizations that makes Frankfort special and really is one of the organizations that make our community go round. So for that, I say thank you. And with that in mind, I also have a proclamation that has some of the same words that the governor had on there. So I won't repeat that, but I will say that I, Lane Wilkerson, Mayor, on behalf of the entire city of Frankfort, do hereby recognize and proclaim March 28, 2024 as the Garden Club of Frankfort Day in the city of Frankfort. And I want to commend you all for 100 years of service in gardening education, conservation, and civic improvements to the community. Thank you all for all you do.
Linda Hill, I think you coined this phrase, but we're not just a group of women who wear our white gloves and sit around and drink tea. County Judge Executive Michael Mueller.
Thank you very much. So the funny thing about having this job here is doing proclamations. It's not I'm just going to be honest. So it's not my strong point. So, you know, the Garden Club sends the information and you know, we talk about picking and choosing and what we're going to read, but I have to admit the governor pretty much took everybody's thunder. As she was reading it, the mayor looks back at me like, what are we going to talk about? I'm looking at him going, I don't know. So I do want to recognize these two lovely ladies on the sofa, Peggy Duncan and Dorothy Wilson. Dorothy just celebrated her 91st birthday last Saturday. So, yeah. I just want to say congratulations. I mean, you all know as much as I do, to keep an organization together over a couple years is a feat, especially ones where you have volunteers. It's hard to get volunteers, it's hard to get people to commit and say, to do what they say they're going to do. We've all been through that, and just to think 100 years is pretty remarkable, and I probably can't think of any clubs right off the top of my head that are similar. So I don't have a lot to say. I mean, congratulations. I mean, you all, most of you know me, you know, my previous life is horticulture. I've worked with a lot of you all on projects around this community. We've planted stuff, you know, with you that you funded at the library and all over. And And I was telling Sam earlier, and I appreciate, there's not many groups that can secure this place here. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, in this Lieutenant Governor's Mansion, I don't know if I've ever been in it. And so I was assuming we're gonna be outside. I had my umbrella and everything, like they're not gonna let us in there. So y'all are pretty impressive to be able to pull that off. Yep, so, but it was interesting because years ago, I planted all those trees for the History Center and for this building. So it's pretty amazing to look back to see how things have grown in 25 years or so. So it's pretty amazing. So, like the mayor, I would like to just say, now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Michael Muller, Franklin County Judge Executive, do hereby proclaim March 28th, 2024 in Franklin and Franklin County, the Garden Club of Frankfort Day. Thank you.
Sean Pickens is here. We're glad you came. You want to say something, or would you just like to?
I can real quick.
All right.
I definitely won't be as good as the governor or the mayor or judge for sure, but what an honor. I've been in Frankfort. I've lived in and out of Frankfort for 15 years, Shelbyville and Frankfort. But I've been here for about 5 years, and Pat Jevedon and Sarah, they're around here. They're in my office quite a bit about things, so let's just say they stay on my butt and my staff's butt. If there's a few extra weeds here and there, or some flowers not doing as good as they probably should be, they let me know, okay? So we're hoping to continue the Garden Club has been very helpful for me in my first 5 years, been very supportive. I know have funded a lot of projects before my time, and currently funding projects. They sit on a beautification committee that we have at City Hall. They come and sit and give suggestions and work very closely with us. So we appreciate that. And our parks wouldn't be as beautiful, the city as a whole wouldn't be as beautiful without the help of you guys. So I appreciate it very much and look forward to another 100 years.
I have two people I want to introduce, and you usually see them walking behind me carrying something. So, my husband, Roy Nance. My daughter, Amy Stone. 100 years ago, I wonder if they thought about the future and what would be going on, or did they even think we'd still be in existence? But we're going to remedy that right now. Donna Hopkins is going to come introduce her granddaughter, Tova, who's going to take us into our future.
Well, all I'm going to say is that the Garden Club of Frankfort has always thought ahead and planned ahead. And so I would like for you all to hear my granddaughter, Tova Travis, and what she thinks about the future of gardening in Franklin County from a young person's perspective who's in 8th grade at Good Shepherd School. Tova.
Hi everybody. My name is Tova Travis. Those that don't know me, my grandmother, Donna Hopkins, is a past Garden Club of Frankfort president. She, along with my mom, Stacy Travis, are both current members of the club, and I am a future member, I hope. My grandmother is showing me how to garden and care for the land and how to preserve it for future generations. My mom doesn't have a green thumb, but she's technical support for the club. My role as a future Garden Club member is to learn about why we garden and what benefits it has for the environment. Both of my grandmothers love working in their gardens, and I enjoy helping them. I now have my own planting bed that my grandmother and I work on every spring. Not only do flowers look pretty when they are in bloom, but they serve as food for butterflies and bees. I really love the fact that I can help feed nature by planting certain plants in my flower bed. One thing I'm slowly learning is that gardening is a lifetime hobby. My dad used to love to garden. He always had a talented vegetable garden next to our patio every year. One of the most important things he's taught me was how using fresh vegetables and herbs is good for cooking, that not only adds to the flavor of your food, but it's a whole lot more healthier than just getting produce. My mom says that I get my love of gardening from my dad and my grandmothers. I really appreciate what the Garden Club of Frankfort has offered the young people of Franklin County. The flower design workshops from the county fair each week have been fun and educational. Having the members support us young people and share their knowledge through planting trees and Monarch Way stations at our schools have been great opportunities. Thank you for letting me speak to you today. As a future member of the Garden Club of Frankfort, I've enjoyed learning from you all about the history of our garden club here in Frankfort.
I think we're safe for another 100 years, don't you think so? Okay, it's my turn. Which I don't enjoy doing, but anyway, here goes. I have a gift for everyone. It's a painted rock. It says the Garden Club of Frankfort, 1924 to 2024. And they're all in all the different colors, and I'll have them out here, and you can take one when you get ready to leave. I want to thank you for allowing me to serve 5 years as president of the Garden Club of Frankfort. In the midst of all the details of planning, organizing, and community work, it has been one of the great joys of my life. As you know, it's not for the faint of heart, but it is something I have enjoyed immensely. In 1997, Myra Aiken encouraged me to join the Garden Club. I thought I had a knack for flower arranging, but I soon learned that there was so much more to membership than putting flowers in a vase. Proper design, educational opportunities, and making Frankfort a more beautiful city have all been a part of my growth. I have also enjoyed the chance to participate in district, state, and national Garden Club events. I'm grateful for the opportunity to meet and work with so many who have similar interests. I'm glad to help Teresa in any way I can, but I'll pass on writing newsletter articles. Okay, Carla Hawkins. I can't even see it. Oh, this is scary now. This sheet is outside in the hallway, and it's an impressive list, so take one home and think about it.
We could not let Karen leave just yet. We have a gift for you, because not only was she been president the last 4 years, she was president 2 years at one point in the past, even before that. So Ashley Averill has always taken the opportunity as a botanical lover to provide prints to outgoing presidents, and she has done that today. But before she does that, I want to read something. This gift is an appreciation for your dedicated service as president of the Garden Club of Frankfort. Thanks for being president twice and more, the only multiple term president in our 100-year history. Congratulations and a job well done.
Thank you so much. Could sing that song, I'm Just a Girl That Can't Say No. Thank you all so much. It's been fun. I have some of Ashley's mechanicals, I love them, so I can't wait to see this one. Okay, Carla's got some. I'm getting my pointer out of the way.
And as we said the whole time, we want to ensure that we have the next 100 years. We're just beginning, right? So it's my honor to introduce the president of the Garden Club of Kentucky, Susan Throneberry. Susan is here to install the new officers for the upcoming 2 years, but before she does that, I'd like to take the opportunity to tell you a little bit about her. Susan belongs to the Two Creeks Garden Club and over the years has served as the Dogwood District Director in local club officer positions and as the co-chair of several years of the Garden Council of Garden Club's Flower Show. She is a gardening school consultant and is attending the environmental school offered in Kentucky. Susan and her husband, Robert, live in Alvaton, which if you don't know is near Bowling Green, are happily retired and love to travel and to garden. They are the proud parents of 2 daughters and a son and have 2 grandsons and 2 granddaughters. Susan's initiative is to continue with the important plans put into place by previous Garden Club of Kentucky presidents, including the never-ending work to remove invasives and replace them with native plants. A point of pride is the Garden Club of Kentucky's growth in membership as clubs reach out to their communities with enthusiasm and encouragement. Youth and Junior Garden Club involvement with projects not only educate about our environment, but those youth are our only future Garden Club members. President Throneberry's special projects include the installation of Blue Star markers and Bluebird trails, but she enthusiastically supports all of our projects and programs. Her theme resonates with all of us today. Go green, plant Kentucky, plant kindness and beauty, harvest a garden of friends. Please welcome our Garden Club of Kentucky State President.
Thank you. I want to tell you what a pleasure it is to be here today, but it's an extraordinary privilege to be right here in this historic home. So I want to thank you for inviting me. You know, the Garden Club of Frankfort is the oldest and largest garden club in the state of Kentucky. I've not heard that mentioned. Congratulations. I'd like for, yes. You're not the oldest and the largest?
Oh.
I'm proud to announce we have 101 members as of today.
If you would, Rosie, if you would come stand next to me, Barbara Hadley Smith and Stacy Travis next, Karen Doyle, I think Joey is not here today, Sarah Thompson and Mary Jacobs, Karen Nance, Barbara Utter, Sam Devine, and Teresa Abel. And Teresa, you will bring up the last of the group, please. Karen, I'm going to have you come stand up next to me, please. The installation of new officers is a time to reflect upon the accomplishments of your previous leaders and look forward to the ideas and inspirations of your newly elected leaders. To those who have faithfully served the past term, thank you for sharing your seeds and your harvest with Garden Club of Frankfort. Officers, you have contributions and you brought to us where we stand today, and this moment becomes the starting point from where your new officers will begin their own service. We recognize and thank you for your leadership and sacrifice of time, energy, and skill as you fulfill the duties of your office. Thomas Carlyle said, "All work is seed sown. It grows and spreads and sows itself anew." Today, we will install your officers using a variety of flowers. Just as each flower is unique, each of you bring a distinctive skill set to your position, and you each have the unique duties and responsibilities. And all of your newly elected officers have come forward. The members have shown your faith and confidence in your ability and chosen each of you to lead the great work of this organization in the coming year. Your willingness to serve and discharge your duties to the best of your knowledge is the first step toward making your term successful. We're going to begin with the installation of your third vice president. If you bring the red rose, please, for Karen. White rose, white rose, white rose, white rose. Karen, you've guided the club over the past 4 years. This white rose represents loyalty and expresses appreciation, respect, and friendship. Your contributions have brought the club where they stand today, and this moment becomes a starting point from where your new officers will begin their own service. We recognize and thank you for your leadership and sacrifice of time, energy, and skill as you fulfill the duties of your office. Because of your knowledge and your experience, you will have an important part in the success of the newly elected officers. We thank you for your dedication, and as a sign of your acceptance of the continued but relaxed responsibilities of the immediate past president, would you please remain here with me to assist the new officers as they are installed? Rosie. Rosie gets a dahlia. Rosie Dorothy, as librarian, you have unique abilities, duties, and responsibilities. Likewise, the dahlia represents following your own unique path. Do you promise to faithfully carry out your duties, subject to the approval of the president and the executive board, to procure magazines and other literatures pertaining to the interest of your club? Say, I do. Let this dahlia remind you of your commitment. Congratulations. And you'll scoot up. Barbara Hadley Smith and Stacy Travis. Auditors. As the immediate past treasurers, your duties are to examine the books and the vouchers of the treasurer and make a written report to the club at the April meeting. These peonies also symbolize good fortune, prosperity, and honor. Do you promise to faithfully and diligently carry out your duties as auditors? Say, I do.
I do.
Terrific. And Karen Dole. Hi, Karen. According to historic folklore, the marigold, there it is. The marigold is derived from the flowers used as an offering to the Virgin Mary in place of gold coins. As treasurer, you're responsible for the collection of all monies due to the Garden Club of Frankfort and shall disperse the funds with the approval of the president and is adopted in the budget. You'll be the chairman of the budget committee and a member of the endowment and gifts committee. Karen, you're charged with tending your funds with a steady hand, just as a gardener tends her flowers. Do you promise to faithfully and diligently carry out your duties as treasurer?
Yes.
Let these marigolds and the seeds remind you of your responsibilities in caring for the club's gold. Thank you. And Joy's not here, but she would have received a lovely yellow rose and learned about her responsibilities. But we're going to move on to the daisy. So Sarah Thompson and Mary Jacobs. The daisy, a modest and simple flower, is seen as a symbol of cheer, purity, and new beginnings. Sarah Thompson and Mary Jacobs, could you please step forward and accept these responsibilities as recording secretaries? You'll need to keep in permanent form, the minutes of all meetings of the club, committees of the club in accordance with Article 4, Section 4, the bylaws of the Executive Board. Do you promise to carry out your duties to the best of your ability? Please accept this daisy as a reminder of your responsibility as secretary and say, I do, please. Thank you. Second Vice President, Barbara Utter. Barbara gets the zinnia. The zinnia is a symbol of endurance. All of us know how lovely zinnias are and how strong they are, how long-lasting they are. This resilient flower comes in many colors and is one of the easiest flowers to grow. As the second vice president, you're charged with serving as the yearbook committee chairman. Albert Einstein said, "Keep on sowing your seed, for you will never know which will grow. Perhaps it all will." Do you promise to faithfully carry out the duties of your office? Say, "I do." Let this zinnia remind you of the importance, diversity, and endurance of our membership. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sam Devine. Sam's going to receive a sunflower. The sunflower is often associated with warmth, positivity, and strength. As first vice president, you're charged with confidently guiding GCF's program efforts with a sense of positivity and serving as an assistant to your president. You shall serve as program committee chair, and in the absence of the president, shall assume the duties of the president. A lot of pressure. Do you promise to faithfully carry out these duties to the best of your ability? Let this sunflower remind you of the source of positive energy and strength for your organization. Congratulations. No pressure, Teresa Abel. Teresa, you're going to receive the red rose. At this moment, you are about to assume the office of the president of the Garden Club of Frankfort. You carry on the dedication of all the presidents who have served before you. It will be your duty to preside at all meetings of the club and executive board, to appoint the parliamentarian, historian, and members of the standing and special committees, excepting the nominating committee and the auditor. The president shall be an ex officio member of each committee, excepting the nominating committee. You lead the Garden Club of Frankfort forward to the unknown challenges and new horizons waiting in the next 2 years. The virtues and gifts of all the other officers must be yours and in abundant measures. You've been selected from among your peers with the highest honor. You must uphold the bylaws and principles of the Garden Club of Frankfort, yes, be sensitive and concerned about the ideas and feelings of all your members. Are you ready to assume the duties of the office of the president? The rose is considered the queen flower and has been revered for centuries. Though each color has a symbolic meaning, the rose is generally associated with balance, promise, grace, and elegance. And you hold all of those great traits. As president, you're expected to lead your club with grace and balance, embracing the symbolism of the rose. And you've already pledged your way to use your knowledge and skills to light the way for the Garden Club of Frankfort. Let this rose remind you to be a faithful leader and to enjoy the beauty of the organization during your term. Benjamin Franklin said, "If you would reap praise, you must sow the seed, gentle words and useful deeds." That Ben was smart, wasn't he? Members, if you're able, please stand with us and the incoming officers. The beauty of any bouquet is derived from the individual flowers joined together. Members, do you promise to use your individual talents to brighten our bouquet and to support these leaders as they carry out their duties? Please say, "I do."
I do.
By the authority vested in me as the installing officer, I now declare these officers of the Garden Club of Frankfort duly installed. Congratulations and best wishes.
You can be seated. Well, we're finished, we've got 2 more in here. We have one more speaker to speak, but make sure you don't forget these. And I forgot to say that Paula Wiley, where are you, Paula? She's probably out in the hallway. Okay, she painted every one of these, so make sure you get one. And because I'm thanking you for painting every one of these. Everybody get one, and in 100 years, we're going to still be around. So. Okay, Madam President, it's your turn.
Cheat sheet here. First of all, thank you all for coming today. Miss Lillian, thank you for being here with us. Lindsay. Dignitaries of Frankfort, thank you all for all coming today. And the state Garden Club members, thank you all for being with us too. Thank you all for asking me to do this. Donna Hopkins. I'll always remember you for this. Sam Devine. Yeah. And we also really wanted to thank, for being here today in this special building, Carol Mitchell for having us. She's the executive director of historic properties here in Frankfort and No Governor's Mansion. She's made us feel so welcome in this beautiful home, and we really need to give her a round of applause. And Carol's ancestors, the Blackburns, were also members of the Garden Club years ago. So she has a little history with the Garden Club of Frankfort. I look forward to serving you all as president, and I hope that the members will have an exciting, fun year, 2 years with me, if I don't leave before then. But thank you all again for putting your faith in me this year. Thank you.